Let's talk about something that everybody is worried about: tariffs. Okay, so obviously the focus this week is that the tariffs are back, increased tariffs for China, and obviously what they had proposed for Canada and Mexico went into effect for the US. That has a ton of people running scared, but I'm going to offer you the best way to think about tariffs and what you should do with your business in order to overcome it. The tariffs themselves are obviously a problem, but the biggest issue about it is that they challenge your quality of revenue, they challenge your profitability. Now, this really isn't any different than if a new competitor had just come into your space and is undercutting your prices, right? If they are selling 25% less than you are, you're going to have that market pressure just as well. You may have your brand to lean on, or you may have other advantages, but realistically, you're all of a sudden having to compete in a way that you hadn't had to compete before. So the first thing that you need to do now is refocus your business and stack your gains, right? Where you have advantages is where you really want to dominate. So what geographies are you selling really well into? What carrier partners work with you really well to deliver the right type of experience that you want? Is your 3PL now the best situated versus the way that your volume and mix has shifted? They may have been good initially, but they may not be the best position now. How should you look at your inventory? What SKUs are really driving sales versus which ones are on the fringe or the edge that you may need to consider a different strategy about? If your team is running scared right now and they don't know what to do, you need to bring in different thinking. You need to bring in different people. You need to have people that don't see this as something that they fear, but they see it as an opportunity to once again compete and to figure out how the market is working and what they need to do to succeed overall, right? Like, you don't want to be sit there paralyzed hoping that things are going to go back to the way they were, because no matter what, they will not. Tariffs or not, that isn't going to happen. Especially when it comes to e-commerce and e-commerce sales and things like that. The reality is low value goods had been a problem for many countries, not just the US, and most of them are looking for ways to cut off that kind of activity that was never intended for, right? The rules and regulations that allowed these things to sort of come in and access consumer bases the way that they did was never intended, right? These regulations, these laws just simply haven't kept up with the modern global commerce and the way that people are shopping all over the planet. No matter what happens, it's a great opportunity here in 2025 to reshape your business, reshape your focus, and to get much more strategic about how you're doing your sales, right? And then you stack your wins, you expand parallel, and you keep winning. That is what your focus should be right now and for the rest of the year.